identity offers, and this is self-validatable at some point, that what we call love has so many different dimensions depending on the value system, but divine form of love is prior to energetics. In other words, the love of which divinity is made, and the love of which by downline fractal expression, everything in we experience, including our experiencer of experience, is made of love if there's a God, and God is love. And so what identity offers actually a structural challenge here, that there's a metaphysical triad that applies to all domains: essence, form, expression. And when we're talking about divinity, we're talking about essence. And then secondarily, essence goes into form, and then form tertiarily goes into expression. The essence of divine love is that which, out of which energy comes. Mm-hmm. In other words, you can't unpack, you can't deconstruct essence. You can deconstruct expression, you can deconstruct form back to essence, but you can't deconstruct essence. That's the nature of the beast, of essence.
Otherwise, it wouldn't be essence, yeah.
Correct. So there's a way to experience divine love upstream of energetics. And that means, and we'll get to the metaphor here in a moment, that means that there is something divine that we all carry that's prior to its form as energy and its expression as matter in this particular triad here.
Give us an example, though, of what paradigm presents love as energy. What does that look like? What paradigms? I mean, I guess the answer is most of them.
I can't think of anyone that doesn't.
Right,
but when pressed.
Yeah, but how does that actually? What does that actually look like? And
from their point of view?
Yeah, because you hear people say things these days like, "Oh, it's all energy." You know, if you put that energy into it, then blah blah. You hear that, but there's something, a piece missing for me. Like, how is it that Christianity, even in esoteric forms, for example, hold divine love as energetic rather than emotive?
Yes, it's because we're conditioned to only relate as real that which can be measured by an I think, therefore I am existential orientation. In other words, you're going to energize. Energy looks like essence because we can measure energy. You can't measure what we call in the identity I-core, which is the essential love nature of divinity, of which we are a part. So the I-core, or the essence of divine love, is pre-energetic. It allows energy to flow out of it. And that's another interesting conversation that we can have. So when you're saying other paradigms, all they're doing is borrowing from scientism of measurability. And they're trying to shoehorn their spiritual pictures into a cogent, I think, therefore I am logical format.
Well, maybe another way to come at it is what's the impact of not reaching the emotive level and only operating with divinity at the energetic level? What does that do?
What it does is it keeps us out of our essential nature of ourselves and each other. At root, everyone who's listening here has a divine root, an energetically human form, and a combination of spiritual and human expression. Okay, but we're not conditioned to go so deep inwardly. The algorithms to go inward are all energetic, associative, always looking in mirrors, and you have to break the mirror. You have to learn to break the mirror to get past the reflection of energy into the essence of all of us, which is divine. divine.
But here's another door into that. How is it that you would see mainstream psychology as staying at the level of energetics rather than emotive? Because a lot of therapists would probably say, oh no, I do very deep emotive work with my clients. How are they falling short in your picture?
Boy, there's another whole topic, of course. I love our rabbit hole.
There's another one.
Thing. Yeah. Well, because what they call emotion, identity would just call feelings.
Uh-huh.
There are emotions. Once those emotions start to come into form, they become feelings. In other words, here's a good example. If someone is bored, and they go to a therapist and say, I just can't shake this boredom. It's undermining, it's unplugging all my energy, and I don't know what to do. I don't know what my purpose on earth is here, all that stuff. Identity goes, well, wait, boredom is not an emotion. Boredom is a feeling, and the true emotion under boredom is anger. If you dip down past boredom, someone in the being is pissed. Someone's pissed that life isn't giving them the richness and the depth that one is craving. There's no way. I can't even. I don't even know what boredom means. I don't know. I've never been bored in any moment of my life. Waiting in hospital rooms, I'm never bored.
Even at the DMV?
Well, no, there I get aggravated. That fills the boredom space.
Yes.
I watch the energy of the people who are dispensing the service, and I see, that person is slowing down the whole thing because their own mental body can't stay with the present now, so they've got to say things 4 times, or someone in line who can't understand. It's just hard to bear sometimes. But boredom is a whole other animal. Divinity is filling every moment in every moment, and so, well, how can you be bored when you're witness and consciously abiding with that?
So a typical therapist would work with the boredom at the level of energetics rather than going looking for anger, for example.
They would say, well, what interests you? What is it that your value system is somehow keeping you from attaining? Let's unpack your childhood a little bit. We don't want to make you a victim, though, because too many therapists now don't want to look at childhood anymore. They've gone the whole practical route. Let's deal with what is today, and that sounds good, but all you're going to do there is you're going to dress up the wounded being and not heal it from the bottom up. So we're getting a little ahead of ourselves, but the point here being that one of the reasons the earth is so confused is that they don't know the difference between divinity love, which is the essence of us, and healthy forms of the form and expression of love. The world, in my opinion, Joseph, is not suffering from any lack of love. It's suffering from a lack of mature love, emotively mature love. And we didn't connect the dots. I'm sorry, this might be even more confusing. If divinity is made of divine love, that's an emotive dynamic. It is not a mental dynamic. It's not an energetic dynamic. It's upstream of energy.
It's not a willful dynamic.
It's not a willful dynamic. It's an emotive dynamic. And if it's if the essence of divinity is emotive, wait, so are we. Not mental, not willful, not physical, not transcendental.
Holoarchically speaking, if we can recognize the divinity in us, then yeah.
Yes, exactly. We are emotive form and expression fractals of divinity's essence, because we're inside of divinity at the same time divinity is inside of us, right? Mm-hmm. That spark, that divine spark of which, other people speak to. Mm-hmm. But emotivity is our essence of being, and that's why identity is based on the the consciousness orientation of we feel, therefore we are, not I think, therefore I am, I have a will, therefore I am unworthy before God, therefore I'm worthy before God, or the I is non-dual, therefore I is not. Those 4 or 5 dominate virtually 98% of the paradigms on Earth, and the other 2% are just flailing.